Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zest with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that'll take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today, it's an absolute honor to welcome Darren Jewell, a Neuro-Resilience Coach, brain injury survivor, and thriver who empowers people to rewire their minds, rebuild their confidence, and unlock their full potential. He is living proof of the mind's extraordinary capacity to heal and rewire, which I'm sure we'll dive into. Through his background and his strategies and lived experience, he guides us to transform mental blocks, embrace resilience, and align our ambitions with purpose, helping us turn challenges into opportunities for growth, which is super important. And if you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by subscribing for future episodes, as it costs absolutely nothing, yet it amplifies powerful voices like his today, and it shares this message and the wisdom to more hearts. So may this episode bring you the clarity, courage, and empowered action that you may be seeking. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. I feel like there's so much I want to ask you, because I just feel like you, first of all, and I know we spoke about this briefly, but I think it's nice to give a background of like how usually we connect. And I know I said this off camera, but I think it's really important to celebrate people and the effort and the support, and I believe the kindness and love that you show up. And I met you via LinkedIn, and since then I've found nothing but support, and just not only just comments, but real expanding and growth of whatever I've been writing or whatever anyone's been writing, because I've seen you comment on many others. And so first of all, I just really want to celebrate you for that, because I think sometimes, as we were talking about briefly before connecting, we're in this world, if you like, where often comparison is the key to, not the greatest mindset. And I know you really focus heavily on the mind and the power of the mind. So if there's something that you would love to share about that, I think it would really benefit people listening.
I just want, my whole goal is to try to inspire people to believe that if they're in the right mindset, anything is possible. Because I quickly say that I actually enrolled on a I'm quite interested in how the brain worked. So I enrolled on a home study course on neuropsychology in 2019. And it touched on what we're going to talk about, which is neuroplasticity. And when it got to neuroplasticity, I thought, and in case people don't know, that is the scientific word for rewiring the brain. And I got to it and I thought, my brain is 51 years old. It's been damaged for half a century. There's no way I'm going to be able to rewire my brain. So I put the course to one side, and I had loads and loads of online courses. Loads. And I was doing those, and I completed 50 plus online courses. And then when what we're going to talk about, when I got told this happened, I then went back and finished the course, because anything is possible, but I don't want to tell you it until we get to it.
No, well, we can get to it, because this is why you're my guest today, is because we really want to dive into your journey, which I know has I can imagine not been easy at all. So really, like I feel like whatever you feel like someone listening to now, rather than it be like an
Yeah,
interview, I really want you to share what you
yeah.
believe that
Okay,
people really need
okay,
to hear because this is
yeah,
important. Thank you.
uh, okay. So, shall we start from the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was born in 1969. We lived in a place in North London. Uh, I had two older brothers, and we lived in a ground floor flat. And outside the back door was a spiral staircase. And my dad had gone to work. He had his own business. He was a plumber, and my two brothers were at school. And me and my mum had just had lunch, and she was washing up the dishes. And as a 15-month-old, I suppose it could be quite fast
Mm.
moving. And I went out, walked, crawled, I don't know. I toddled out the back door
Gosh.
and up this spiral staircase. And at the time, bars on spiral staircases and balconies were not cot width, so they were much
Mm.
wider. And I crawled up this climbed up this spiral staircase. And the first thing my mum knew was when she heard a thud
Oh
as
no.
I'd um, come off the spiral staircase. They don't know how far I got. There was two flats above,
Oh my gosh.
and I fell, landed on my head, was rushed into hospital. I was put into an induced coma.
Mm.
My head, I damaged the left side of my head, and by what I've been told by my dad, is my head swelled up like to the left side of my head swelled to like over double the size.
My gosh.
I was in a coma for about 3 weeks, which I say to people doesn't seem like a long time, but in baby terms,
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
It is. And I lost the first 15 months of my life. My parents were told he's not going to have much of a life. He's not going to do very good at school. Yeah, he's not going to do very good at school. He's not going to get a good job, if he gets a job at all, if he survives.
Wow.
So there were a lot of like um, let's say limiting beliefs. So
Mm. Mm.
as I was growing up, I was being told, oh, like my parents, amazing, yeah,
Mm.
amazing, and they never treated me any different to my two older brothers.
Yeah.
Um, within so this was in April of 2000, April of 1970, and by November of 1970, we had moved from that flat to a house in another part of North London,
Wow.
because my mum couldn't cope with
Mm. Yeah, the
living
memory.
in that living
Yeah.
in yeah living in that flat anymore. So yeah, and they didn't treat me no differently. Um I knew I had at the time, so 1970, there was no MRI scanners.
Oh,
There there
wow.
so yeah, there was no MRI scanners. I think they were developed in 1977. So all they were able to do was inject a dye into me to do a CT scan,
Oh, wow.
and they just then that's when they said that I wouldn't amount to much. So I went to a normal school. I hate the word normal because I didn't feel normal. Yeah, I knew that I'd got a brain injury, but I didn't know how much.
Mm.
Um, the thing that like was really noticeable was my talking was like really bad. There was a lots of pauses. I had to think before
Process.
I like, and I would think what I wanted to say, and sometimes halfway through a sentence, I would stop because I just couldn't get the word.
Oh,
And because I damaged the, I don't know, I think most people know that the left side of your brain operates the right side of your body, and vice versa. So damaged the
wow.
left side of my head, so it weakened the right side of my body,
Didn't know
including
that.
the vision in both eyes
Gosh, so
in the
it
right on the
affects
right side.
everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's more noticeable in the right eye. I can like it's like my arm is like it's like maybe 40 45 degrees that I can't actually see. I can see
Wow.
my hand out, right out, my left arm right out straight up, yeah, and I can see it, but I can't see there. But
Mm.
it's something that I've overcome.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, and yeah, I didn't use my right arm for anything except for eating. That was it. Yeah, so um, that was all I'd say. If someone threw a ball at me, I would catch a ball with my left hand. Yeah, I could do that.
Mm.
And my dad, he used to be a boxer, and we used to have like muck around sparring sessions. And he actually said to me once, because I was using my left arm for everything, uh, it become really strong.
Mm.
And and so like in a junior school, uh, I was noticeably different to everybody else. So because I was because I was noticeably different, I become the uh, easy target
Yeah.
for the bullies. And uh, if they hit me, I hit them back at the time.
Mm.
Yeah, and most I can remember, like someone would say, right outside underneath the shelter, we'd have a fight, and I'd go outside. I don't really want to fight you,
Yeah.
but they hit me, so I hit them back, and like within one punch, they go, "Darren, you're my mate, and we don't want to fight you no more." But at some point, I hit I hit a child who was like in my year, and I hurt him. I don't know how much I hurt him, but my parents were called into the school. And for some reason, they were saying I was a bully, but I was just um, defending myself.
Yes, yes.
And then, because of that incident, I then said, realized that my I was stronger than the child um, my age.
Mm-mm.
So I said, that's it. I'm not fighting no more.
Yeah.
So uh, when I, by the time I got to uh, secondary school, everybody everybody started um, hitting me, and I never fought back. I never fought back. I would get upset because I didn't know how to stop the bullying
Mm.
without fighting back. And I
Like a
said to
vicious
myself,
cycle, though,
I
isn't it?
can't, yeah, I can't do that. And I went through I went through the whole of secondary school, uh, being the target of everybody, and I didn't do very good at school.
Yeah, but
I got the
mentality,
grades
as
that,
you know, with the mind, there's a lot more than just what they're doing. As you know, there's a lot in your mind and a lot of beliefs that you're developing, and then you had the previous experience of you're the bully if you then look, look
yeah.
after yourself. So it's just a vicious
So
cycle, isn't it?
yeah, so I was in a class, and I was actually sitting next to the teacher was like sitting right next to me on my right side, and on my left side, which is my stronger side, I had the supposedly the strongest boy in the school, um, and I was this skinny little kid, and he was a quite stocky
Mm.
guy, Turkish, yeah, a stocky Turkish guy, and he punched me on the arm, and something just went inside my head,
Mm.
and I just looked at him and said, "This was like, um, so this was like, 2000, not sorry, uh, 9, 1985 ish,"
Mm.
and this so he hit me, and I looked at him, and I went, "If that's the hardest punch you've got, then leave me alone." So he hit me again harder, and I looked at him again and said, "If that's the hardest you've got, leave me alone." And I repeated it. He hit me about six
Mm.
times, hit me about 6 times, and each time harder. And he was hurting me, but I wasn't going to let him know that. And after like the sixth time, I just then said to him, "Look, yeah, you just like you're wasting your time, yeah." Uh, he actually then, when the lesson ended, he went out of the class, and I see him go up to all the bullies, everybody, and in the end, they were then they were going around telling everybody, saying like, "Oh, he just hit Darren the hardest he could," and basically Darren just laughed at him.
Mm.
And the guy that hit me said, "I believe he knows that if he fights back, he's going to hurt someone."
Mm.
And I didn't say nothing. I just carried on with my day. And
Wow.
from that day, like nobody come near me. Nobody like hit me or anything.
Mm. It's the unknown,
And
isn't it?
yeah, and I actually uh yeah. So he said that, and I didn't say anything. He just carried on my day. And actually, years later, like maybe 5 or 6 years later, I went into a local pub with two friends from my school days, and I
Mm.
walked in, and this guy was with a group, maybe like of about eight people. They
Mm.
might have been friends, they might have been family, but they were all of this uh, same ethnicity, and I couldn't see him, so he called out my name, and I just turned around, walked up to him, shook his hand, and said, like, "How are you?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing fine. How are you?" And I said, "Oh, all right." I spoke to him for a little while. Then he said, "Right, I've got to go, and like, because I'm with my mates. I'll get them to come over and say hello." And as I walked away, I heard him say to the people he was with, he said, "See that man there? He
Mm.
went through like hell for the whole of his school time." And then he told him what he did
Mm.
and what happened. And he said, "That guy changed my life." because the way I was going, I would have probably ended up in prison. And I turned around and went up to him and said, "Are you serious? Did that really change your life?" And he said, "Yeah, it did." He said, I'd heard the saying, you have to watch the quiet ones. And you were the quiet one.
Yeah.
And he goes, you just changed it. And I just said, I need to shake your hand again. And he went, why is that? And I went, because I'm glad that lesson taught you something.
Yeah.
And I felt good about that. And all the years of the being hit and punched and kicked, like, just went away, because
Wow.
I changed that guy's life. And that was
Beautiful.
quite
It's
quite
not
beautiful.
beautiful, but you know what I mean. Um,
Well,
and
yeah,
and actually that says a lot about that boy at the time, but man, because it takes, I don't know many people with that kind of mentality at school, because you don't know his background and what he's going through
yeah,
either,
yeah,
that would own up and admit that to other people as well, especially as a school age, and be like, when you said about what he said to the other people, I often
yeah,
that usually does not happen, so that says a lot as well.
yeah, yeah. So that
Oh,
was
well,
good.
I'm obviously, I know we all have our past and stuff, but first of all,
Yeah,
thank you so much for sharing that, because even I believe there's a really big power in things we share. And
yeah,
I'm sorry, obviously, you went through that, but sometimes, like what you've just said now, although we don't want to often go through these experiences, there's usually something that comes up like later in life, or something that
yeah,
um yeah, it's odd, because it's almost like it was something happening to you, but it had a huge impact on him as well.
yeah,
um
yeah.
and it's not saying that any of it was right,
Uh,
but it's just, it's weird how these things work sometimes, and how him doing that gave him a message. He actually
yeah,
got something which normally at that age, I don't believe you do normally get that
yeah,
insight.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And the
um,
way
no,
the
please.
way I look at it, now is that was like one of my first, um, without even realizing, I didn't even know what resilience was, but
Mm,
that was like a strong case of resilience, because like, for 4.5 years,
yeah.
like, knowing that I could end it, but if I did end the bullying, would I then be classed as the bully? So,
Oh, yeah.
and I couldn't do that. So I suppose that the school era is like over. I started a Saturday job in a local pizza restaurant, uh, big chain, um, and I was really quiet. I would like not talk to hardly anybody, and even up until like 5 years ago, I was so quiet. Um,
Wow.
so I started this Saturday job, and then we got a new manager, and she said to me, would you like to do Sundays as well?" So I said, "Yeah, okay." So I did that, and I decided that. So I was still at school, and I decided that when I left school, I was going to train to become a chef.
Wow.
And um, looking back now, after I'm going to mention
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
like, being a chef is both physically and mentally challenging. You could be on your
Mm,
feet all day. You're on your feet all day. You could be doing like an 8-hour shift with like a 15-minute sit down or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't get that much of a break. You don't get like an hour break, hour lunch break in catering. Um, and you could be cooking 5 or 6 different styles of cooking, like frying, grilling,
Yes.
baking, yeah, sticking stuff in a microwave. You could be doing so many different things all at the same time. So that is like, now looking back, I think, how did I do that?
Resilience
How did
again.
I do? How yeah, how did I manage to do that? And I was a chef for about 16 years, if I count the bit when I was like
Wow.
at school. It was 2001. I was 32 years old. I had um, when I was 26. I was in a I was in. This is to say like how much of a battering my body had taken. So I'd had the fall as a fall from the spiral staircase, stroke balcony. We don't know. Um, then when I was
Cool.
18, I was on holiday in the south of France with my parents. We were as me, parents, and my sister who was born like about 3 years after the accident. And we were driving back at night from south of France, heading towards Paris. And somebody drove into the side of us because he saw around a bend that there was a big traffic jam. And he calls us to go into the back of another car, which went into another car.
Oh,
And at the time, there were no rear seatbelts in most cars. So my dad like went, oh my God. I looked between the seats as we hit the car.
oh God.
And uh, even now, I can't remember it because it happened so fast. But I had gone through the middle of the seats. I'd gone through the middle of the seats, and my mum just saw me flying through the air as a baby and put her arm up like that and knocked me back. She wasn't a strong lady, but she managed to have the strength to knock me back. And like I can't remember it. So the following day, my mum got whiplash. My sister broke her hip, so they were in hospital. My dad cracked his ribs. He didn't say anything because if he was kept in hospital, I would have been outside in a country that I'm not really used to on my own. So he didn't say about his ribs. So when we went back to the hospital the following day, I was picking glass out of my head, thinking like, how is that? And my mum said, I knocked you back. And I went, so my head touched the window screen and you stopped me from going through it. You saved my life because yeah. And yeah, so there was that. So that she hit me in the neck. I know she hit me in the neck because the chain I was wearing had dug into my neck. Then 8 years later, I was working in the restaurant, and somebody, after the restaurant was shut, there was me cleaning the kitchen on my own. There was a waiter cleaning the restaurant, and the manager was outside at the back where the office was. And this guy kicked his way through the glass door, came in, walked past the waiter, because by this time I'd gone to have a look to see what was going on. And he saw me, glasses, easy target, smacked me in the face. My glasses flew across the kitchen. We managed to restrain him until the police arrived. The following day, I woke up with a trapped nerve in my neck. Well, pain shot up my back, stopped in my neck. I got this trapped nerve in my neck, which took 12 weeks to get better. So yeah, my body had taken taken a battering. There is another thing as well, which didn't cause no injury, but around about the same time as the assault at work, I was walking home at night. I'd gone to the bank. I was going to go and do a course. I enrolled, and I was at this time I was training to be a plumber. and I decided I was going to go on this plastering course. So I went to get some money out at night, and stupidly, it was stupid. I should have done it during the day. Two guys saw me, run up to me, and pulled a gun out on me. And I was like thinking, like, is it a real gun? Will they shoot me? What if a car comes down the road? Because it wasn't a main road. They'd followed me to like a quieter road. And I thought, what happens if a car comes? What am I going to do? And the car did come within a minute or two. And I jumped in front of it thinking, right, is the car safer than being shot with a gun? And the car stopped, didn't hit me, and the two guys ran off. So I think that was another case of showing resilience, because I wasn't going to let them have my money. I wasn't. And people said to me, why not just give them the money? And I went, I work hard for that. I'm not going to let them take it. So yeah. So
Darren, you are literally defying the odds.
Yeah. Like, if I'm a cat, if I was a cat,
I pray that you've definitely got your badge of honor for resilience, and I know you're gonna share all the magnificent things that have happened prior to that. But you have definitely got your badge of honor for resilience, and he doesn't need any more. Thank you. He has received it.
So
bravery, courage, all of them. You tick them all.
Thank you. So I noticed the time, and I thought, okay, I better speed this up because I don't know how long it's going to be.
It all is your story. Not just your story, your journey, and it all amounts to something, because it really shows. It shows the strength of you, not just mentally, physically, and just before you continue, I would just like to ask as well. Because as we're going to be talking about the brain, and as we know about affirmations and often things spoken on our lives, which can have lots of really, really deep seeds planted. I can imagine, but correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, but I can imagine, did the kind of the words and the diagnosis of the doctors did you find that kind of speech was constantly spoken on you as you went through your life as well?
All my life I had these limited beliefs. You can't do this, you can't do that. I already showed them that I could. I could, because I was a chef, and a chef is probably like one of the stressfulest jobs.
But I even think prior to that, I feel like you had this mentality and this mindset with all that was going on in your schooling, not just from secondary, but from primary. Even like what you said, you even had someone sat next to you, and that boy was still doing that to you. That says a lot as well, because I'm guessing in that moment as well, even though I know we're, teenager and we've got this mentality and cool and all this, but I bet you didn't feel very safe and looked after either, because it's a hard one, because you don't want her to kind of fight your battles, but then it's also like, what is happening here?
Because she must have noticed that he was hitting me, and I have said that I quite liked her as a teacher, but she was pretty weak in certain areas. I also I forgot. I need to say this, because this one is could have been life-changing as well, because I'd actually where I was working in this pizza restaurant, I ended up becoming a kitchen supervisor. So I had staff underneath me, and the doctors would not have said that I would have been able to have people underneath me, and I was like, um, I was 17. I was
Wow.
17. Yeah, I was 17. I was a kitchen supervisor, and I'd taken the the week of my 18th birthday. I took the week off, and I'd arranged for a night in a local nightclub, and I went into the restaurant to give people some free tickets to get in. And this guy, who was one of my members of one of the staff that I like managed, he asked me if I'd post a letter. So I went,
Mm.
yeah, okay. And I didn't pay no attention to the letter, what was written on it, and I posted it. Uh, when I went back to work the following, so I had my birthday, and it was really good. And when I went back to work on the very first day back to work, a police officer, a detective sergeant came into the restaurant and arrested the guy that gave me the letter.
Oh
And I didn't know
gosh.
what was going. I didn't realize what was going on. But he took him away, and a few hours later, maybe less than that, but the same detective sergeant came and arrested me,
Oh my God.
and took me back to the police station and said, the guy who we arrested said that you knew what was in the letter, you posted it, and he read me the letter, and then he questioned me on the letter after he read it to me. So I knew what was in the letter. So when they did the statement, and the Crown Prosecution Service looked at the statement, they thought that I knew what was in the letter
Oh
because
my
the guy had already read it to me.
gosh.
So I went through 13 months of going to magistrates court like every couple of weeks, and then when it went to Crown Court, I was facing 10 years in
Oh
prison.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
10 years in prison because this letter was, if I looked at the address, it was going to one of his neighbours saying what he wanted to do to her and her two kids. Yeah, sick. Yeah, and when it got to Crown Court, there was two guys. One good, the guy that was writing letters. He was dyslexic, and a more intelligent guy who also was a member of staff. He rewrote it, and when it got to Crown Court, they said if you plead guilty to these charges, we will drop the main one, which is 10 years. So they both said, yeah, we'll do that. And I said, no, I'm not pleading guilty to something I've
No,
not done.
no.
So they said, well, you know that if you plead guilty to these, you'll get community service and a fine. If you don't plead guilty,
No.
you're going to have to do the whole lot, and you could face 10 years in prison. And I went, I'm not doing it. Yeah,
And that's
I didn't.
not a small thing. That is
Yeah,
horrendous. Why would
yeah.
you,
And I just
no,
thought,
put your name to that?
yeah, and I just thought I had to bring that, say to this, because it's another case of resilience, probably one of the biggest. And it lasted for 3 days, and I was, yeah, and I was scared that I was thinking, did I make the
Oh
right choice? But I
God.
wanted, uh, I said to my barrister, I want the jury to decide whether I'm guilty or not guilty. And when they went out to deliberate, they weren't out very long. And when they came back, my parents were there, and a friend who's been like a lifelong friend. She was a social worker. She wanted to go there for experience. And this guy from the jury winked at my dad to say, "It's okay."
Mm.
And when they said not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, I slid off the chair that I was sitting on in the dock,
Yeah.
and cried,
Yeah.
cried my eyes out. And the sergeant, police sergeant or court sergeant, whatever, yeah, he like picked me up and said, "Come on, mate, it's over now. That is the best result I have I have seen in a long time." And that really has affected, like,
Of course.
that affected my life for a long
You
time.
ultimately did something kind, and
Yeah,
then you with no idea of the consequence,
yeah,
and
and that
even
was
in that,
30.
and it's not saying now, we should be cautious, but even that is it, there's a reason why you've shared that. Not
Yeah,
saying that now people should not trust people, things like that, but I always believe there's a reason why you felt the need to share that, like not just the
yeah,
resilience, not just the courage, not just the belief in yourself, and all of it, but sometimes I believe someone listening or whatever needed to hear that for whatever reason.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so um, yeah, so so I actually got a job. I left the pizza restaurant and got a job in a pub, which I thought was like, quiet village. I thought it's going to be really quiet, but it had such a big reputation. I was cooking like 600 meals like a week on a Sunday, and
Wow.
and
Do you do a good roast then, do you?
yeah, and I loved it. I loved it, and like the I got to a stage where I was just a chef. You got a second chef and a head chef, and so I was getting like being told what to do. But sometimes, if the head chef said to me, "Darren, can you taste this? It's a it's a vindaloo sauce, and I know you like curries. Can you taste the sauce because I don't?" And I tasted it, and most people would think you can't disagree with the head chef. I'd say, "Sorry, that is rubbish." Yeah,
But
and he'd
then
go, "You
he
can't."
obviously valued your opinion, because
Yeah,
why did he
yeah,
ask you?
yeah.
So,
So yeah,
like,
yeah. So when I got to 32 and started a new job, and within about a month, I started falling over, and yeah, my my left leg, which is my on my good side, would go into spasm, and I'd have like a pain in my back, and then my leg would go into spasm. So it happened a few times at work, and I went up to my manager and said, "Look, I can't do this.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about hurting myself.
Mm.
I'm scared that if I'm carrying a pot of boiling water and my leg goes into spasm and I fall over and that seriously injured someone,
Yeah.
I would want to die." So he said, "Darren, don't resign. We will stick you out front. You can sit on a till and you can like get up and do stuff. You can and you'll be talking to more people as well, because in the kitchen you don't talk to that many people. So
Mm.
when I was on the till, I was talking to like about 1,000 people a day, and I didn't realise that they actually liked me. Yeah, and that gave me some confidence. And I started to
I
speak a
think
little bit
I think
better.
that's really important what you've just said there. Sorry, just to highlight
Yeah,
that, because you said you were 32, right?
yeah,
Um, Even despite everything, and even that interaction you had with that guy and shaking the hands and things like that, that says a lot of how much you went through, and how kind of the trust you probably have in people with the things that happened in your life, to then say, oh wow, actually people do like me. And I think that it really shows, doesn't it? And I know when we're growing up and stuff, we kids, teenagers, they can be so cruel, but there really needs to be something put in place, because these things feed into the rest of our lives if they're not dealt with, which I'm sure you're
yeah,
going to go into. I was even speaking to someone yesterday of often it's these little repetitive seeds that create the most impact, because often, a physical reaction just out of nowhere, not saying it's easy to overcome, but often being told you're this and you're this, and then people kind of almost betraying you for your kindness, things like that constantly happening. Eh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot, a
So
lot.
yeah. So uh, I didn't go to my GP straight away. I tried to like cope, and but then when my managers like said go like front of house, I thought I'd go and see a GP, and I actually uh, see a locum, and he asked me to like push him away, and he said like you're weak in both arms.
Mm.
So I went, but that's my strongest arm. It's been really like powerful. And he goes, no, you're weak in both arms. What we're going to do is we're going to send you for an MRI scan to find out what's going on.
Mm.
And I then had to see a neurologist, and he puts up this MRI scan. Never seen one before in my life. And I went, what's that area there? And then he went, at the time, he went, well, that's where your brain's dead. And he
Oh,
should have said non-functioning. So he said, that's when your
yeah.
brain's dead. And I looked at it and I went, but that's like a third of my brain is
Mm.
not working. And he went, yeah. And I went, but, and he said, you've done pretty well. You've trained as a chef. You're a qualified chef. You're a qualified plumber. You've done pretty well. Don't worry about it. Then
Mm.
I thought, I tried not to worry about it, but in the back of your mind, you think, what happens if later in life, like I get to like 40, 50,
Mm.
and
Mm.
if I have a minor stroke, and it damages another part of my brain, what could the outcome be? So I was concerned, and I was concerned like for like 20 years, 20 years ish.
Mm.
Yeah. So uh, I tried to. I carried on. I stayed at the same job up until the outbreak, the first lockdown, COVID, so 2020, and uh, the yeah, and I had routine MRI scans like every couple of years, and there was no change. And I thought to myself, well, that's good. I thought as you get older, your brain either stays the same
Mm.
or
Mm.
degenerates. So yeah, so and that's when like I start. Somebody said to me, "What happens if in what happens if uh, you go for an MRI scan and they say to me, Darren, sorry, but in 5 years' time, you will probably be in a wheelchair." I just said straight away, then I gives me 5 years to learn to do something
Yeah.
where I can do it sitting down. And then I thought, what happens if that does happen? So I enrolled on a uh, web design course, and I completed that as well. So yeah, lockdown came. I can't stand sitting around doing nothing, so I enrolled on these courses. I'd already enrolled on this neuropsychology course, but I'd put that to one side, and I was doing some like computer programming stuff that was actually, which I later found out was um, uh, making neurons in the left side of my brain wake up. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, and I didn't know. I didn't know what was happening in my head. I just felt like I was feeling. Eventually, I was beginning to become a little bit more uh, aware of my talking was better.
Mm.
There was
Mm.
not a lot of ums, ahs, a lot of pauses there wasn't that. So uh, after so March 2020, July 2021, I've got to go for a routine MRI scan because my neurologist that I'd had for 10 years, and I had like five or six neurologists, but I'd had one for like 10 years, was uh, transferring to work with people with multiple sclerosis. So I had this MRI scan, thinking nothing of it. I've had so many, and then I get a letter in the post saying I've got to go to the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery in London. Never been there before, and I was seeing a neurosurgeon, and I was scared. I thought there's a problem. I thought, like, I feel good, but I've never been to this hospital, and I've never seen a neurosurgeon. I thought if I'm seeing a neurosurgeon, they want to do an operation, and I was like, I'm not having an operation. So I go there. I go to Queen Square, London. I go there with my dad because I was that worried that when after the thing, I might not feel able to like make the journey home on my own, and if it was bad, who knows what I would have done. So I owed this neurosurgeon puts up this MRI scan, and I've seen so many. I knew what my MRI scan looked like, and he puts this MRI scan up, and I said to him, "That ain't mine." And he goes, "It is," and I went, "It's not mine." And like I've said, I hate the word normal. This MRI scan of a brain was normal, and he said, "It is yours." And I went, "It can't be. This like it." And he said, "This is the interesting thing." And I thought, I don't like interesting. He said, I told him about the courses, and I told him about how like my positivity had changed. I said to him that in life you get a lot of hurdles thrown in front of you. They're imaginary hurdles, and like some people think like there's three ways to get past that hurdle: over it like in athletics, under it, round it. And I said, in my case, it's run through it. It's not there. It's in my
Get rid
imagination.
of it.
Yeah. So he said, well, by the sound of it, with all the courses you've done and your positivity, because I've never actually seen someone with so much positivity,
Yes.
you have actually stimulated blood vessels in your brain,
Wow.
which has pumped blood to the non-functioning part and made it function again.
Amazing.
Now, who thinks that is possible? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, for a long time afterwards, maybe even 2 months, I would wake up in the morning and think, was that a dream?
Wow.
Was that a dream? And this was I found out what happened in December of 2021. In 2022, it was approaching National Mental Health Week, and I just thought, okay, I need to do something because people don't know this is possible, because no one's actually talking. There wasn't people talking about neuroplasticity, and nobody talking about like this. Yeah. So I thought I need to go back to my old school, which I left in 1985. And if I could inspire one kid in the school, that was my goal, to inspire one kid in the school to think a little bit more positive about the future,
Mm.
because I feel that sometimes there isn't that much for them to be positive about. So I went in. I was dealing with one person, and I went in and did 4 assemblies. I didn't talk to the final year, the last year, because they were doing their exams. I don't know what that is year now. It was year 5 when I was at school, but year 12,
11.
13, 14, I don't know. So I did these 4 assemblies. The lady that I was dealing with, she was only at the last one. She said, "I've had feedback all the way through. You have just got better and better and better,
Mm.
more confident, and please do not stop here, because this was your school." And I walked out, and I thought, like, that was good. What she said was good, but I just thought, how am I going to know if I've affected that one person? I'm not going to know. So my story was on a local Facebook group. Um, And weeks later, a parent joined on the day that she found me. And she said, "Are you the man who spoke? Are you the man who spoke the school?" So I went, "Yeah, was that okay?" Like, feeling a bit nervous as I'd done something wrong. And she went, "I've got to thank you, because my daughter's come home and said, if he can do that with a third of his brain not working, if I work hard enough, I can achieve
Wow.
anything I want." And I just said, "No, I have to thank you, because now I know that I've affected that one person." And she said, "Darren, you've affected more than one person. I know the parents, they haven't found you yet." And that has just pushed me
Yes, yes,
more
yes.
to go out and tell people, like, what is possible. Not saying, "Look at me, look what I've done," but say, "Look what is possible when you've got the right mindset." Do you know what? Yeah, say this a lot, but we know more about the universe than we know about the human brain.
Yeah.
Now that is incredible, isn't it? So yeah, that's why I'm here to say, yeah, with the right mindset, anything is possible. Limiting beliefs are just things that you've been told as you've been growing up, and your life, if you think your life is not going the way you want it to go, you can change it. You can change it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I appreciate you sharing all of that so much. And when I really listen into all you shared, also, you actually did have limiting beliefs, and you did have, like, even when they showed you physically your scan, you still were like, no, no, no. So you not only had them, but you still had this spirit, this strength in you, despite actually kind of agreeing with it a little bit, but you still went against it. You still proceeded. You still found, like, okay, well, what can I do with this? And I think that's incredible. I think that's really incredible, because
Uh,
I would love you to touch on this, but I think there's a big thing always about, when we reflect on our life and they say, oh, what you think is what you see. But
yeah.
kind of sometimes what I feel like you've shared, but please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, is you did have them, but you still proceeded, you still continued. So, because I think sometimes we get stuck in this, people will tell us that, oh, this is happening in your life, or this because you have this belief. And
Yeah.
we're constantly trying to fix and heal ourselves and our mind, and then we're trying to find almost like, oh, it's because of this, instead of saying, okay, do you know what? Actually, what's the solution? What could I do right now to still defy the odds, which I think you beautifully showed throughout the whole of this episode.
Yeah, I just quickly like say, like, so I worked at my last job for 19 years. Because of lockdown, I eventually got made redundant. spent a whole year looking for work, and while I was looking for work, I was doing more courses. So I've probably done maybe about 70 now, but and I got a job. I was sticking stuff in ovens in a bakery in a shop, another like well-known chain, but I'm not. Yeah, and and I thought to myself, in about 3 months' time, I'm going to start falling over, and I did. Maybe that was the belief that I had that I was going to fall over, and my legs would go from under me. And when that happened, I resigned. So I was looking at something to do, um, where I could like work for myself. So I just thought, you know what, candles. Thought I'd go and like on a course and make candles. And people said like, that's weird. And I went, it's not, because I'm using my nose like when I was a chef with the fragrances.
Mm-mm.
So I went to a networking event, and my very first networking event, and it was run by the people that of the local Facebook group, and that they said, "We'll talk about your candles, but also talk about your story."
Yeah.
So people at this event, and it was a speed networking event, and the goal was to arrange a one-to-one with somebody. And afterwards, people come up to me and said, "Darren, your candles look good. The resin items that you make look good, but your story's more important."
Yeah.
And there was a lady that there's a lady that is a music teacher, and she teaches violin, viola, and piano. And she said, I know about this neuroplasticity, and what would help your brain even more is by learning to play an instrument, because
Mm.
there are not that many things that use both hemispheres of the brain. So if you learn to play and I eventually I've been playing the piano, and so I'm forcing the left side of my brain to now make my right arm do some work. And I
Mm.
said, I will learn to play the piano, but I will never play in front of people I don't know. And she looked at me and smiled, as if to say, yeah, we'll see. And she was right. I have now done four recitals, four recitals, like two a week, two a year. We do a Christmas one, where I play White Christmas. And what we had been doing at all the other first three recitals was, I'm really been forcing my right arm to do some work. So she's
Mm.
been, and you use the right arm, the right hand the most on the piano. So what we've been doing is, she's been sitting next to me. She's been playing the left hand. I've been playing the right hand.
Aw.
Yeah, which has been quite good, and it's hard because I've got to listen to what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the last recital, I said to her, "I'm not being horrible, but I don't want you sitting next to me next time. I want to play on my own."
Wow.
And she goes, and I did it. I did it. I did White Christmas on my own, and I messed up, but messing up is good. Messing up is
Shows your
good. So
humility.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. But
Wow.
now everything is possible.
Absolutely. And you've shared so, so much, but I'm just thinking about the audience listening now,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
say anyone going through this, like, please expand on this. But what I'm kind of hearing is the importance of making sure, just like you would if going to the gym, that you are, and I'm sure people can contact you to find out more about this, but
yeah,
not to be focusing on one area. So like what you even said, even though you knew that was your strength, well, actually no, you did the opposite one, didn't you? But to make sure that you're continuously challenging in whatever way that you can, all aspects. Is that correct?
yeah. Well, yeah, it is. What I keep saying is, so many people spend hours and hours in the gym
Mm.
every week. Yeah. And they don't spend like an hour or 2 hours just working the most important muscle in your
Yes,
body.
yes.
Yeah. The most important muscle in your body, and you're not working it out. You're not working it out, and you need to, because
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah, I really really believe this, and I haven't mentioned this um on the thing, but uh I lost my mum to vascular dementia in October. My dad has dementia,
Mm.
um and I really believe that if what I've done, and again, I'm not saying look at me, look what I've done, but if you try to do something, try to learn something on a regular basis, it can help
Yes, yes.
slow down, prevent um, dementia. Yeah, that's a fact. Um,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. Your mind, as
and
as you
I'd
will know, our mind is so well. Even every single from the start to the end of everything you've explained, this is the commander of the body
yeah, yeah,
in all aspects. Like even when you talked about your eyes, and 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 yeah, I agree. I think we're so often kind of numbly focusing on the physique and it looking great, and which it like I think that's really good resilience again, and people, I know they put in a
yeah,
lot of time and effort, but equally, like you said, we need to be really mindful about then what are we really pouring into our brains.
mm,
Even down to the music, the things you're listening to, it all, I believe, counts to something. And that's why I love doing this and speaking to people like you, because you gain knowledge, you gain wisdom, you gain understanding, even through someone sharing their own story. And I think it's powerful. It's really powerful to keep that mind active, be curious, keep expanding it. And I'm sorry about your losses, but I really do believe that you are incredibly inspiring, and I really do hope that you continue to be able to go in and keep speaking, particularly to the younger generation, because I think it is really important that we are really going in and inspiring those young minds, because they are the future.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's really emotional.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really emotional. Like sometimes I have days where I think like, why has this neurosurgeon only seen this 3 times in 35 years? And I say to people, I'm not special. And they have a go at me and say,
Well,
you are special
I was
because
going
you've
to
done
say,
this.
Darren, I believe you could work a little bit more on your mind, because I want you to really listen back to this yourself and listen to your own talks and all that you've expressed. And I do truly believe, and I'm not just saying this, and I know there is, particularly with men, there's this kind of watering it down. But no, I can hear everything you've shared with me, and you deserve to give yourself that credit, because you're not only just coming on sharing a story. One, it's your life, it's lived experience, and you've done something about it. You haven't remained in that, I'm telling you this because I want people to feel sorry for me, which, whatever anyone's feeling is their opinion, but you haven't. You've come on to inspire change,
Yep.
and help people, whatever point they are at in their life, navigating, really find that strength and that courage to really know that it's just a season, it's just something maybe happening in their life, and they will overcome it, and they can overcome it. And I think that's really powerful. So you should be giving yourself the credit. And that's why I think
Thank you.
I wanted to speak to you. Well, no, I know I wanted to speak to you because I didn't know about all of this, but I knew I wanted to speak to you.
Uh, Thank you very much.
You're
It's been
welcome.
it's been an honor, and yeah, I just love coming onto um, podcasts because it spreads my message that
Yes.
anything is possible.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
Really, really, really. And I know you've shared so many incredible words of wisdom and motivation and all sorts. But if there's just anything else you really feel right now that someone listening would really benefit from hearing, feel free.
Just like you know, just stay positive. Yeah, try
Yeah.
to stay positive. Try try to try to stay positive. Um, that you can overcome uh so much if
Yeah.
yeah it like we've talked about mindset a lot, and mindset is so important.
Hmm.
If you are in the right mindset, I believe that you can overcome most things.
Yeah,
um
absolutely.
and if anybody wanted to talk to me, um they can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I'll put all your
Uh,
details.
yeah, they can find me on Facebook, but I am using LinkedIn a lot more.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to talk to me like in person on the phone, I would do that because yeah, I and I yeah, I am doing um I'm starting to do some talks online, um
Amazing.
like in just me, um and yeah, I've just finished writing my first book. So hopefully in the
Congratulations.
next, thank you very much. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I will be starting to try to get that published.
Yes, yes.
And
I love it all, and I'm glad you're listening to what people have been telling you because there's been a little bit of a theme of you really need to see how amazing you are, and that what you've been through is going to already is, but is going to impact so many lives, and yeah, it's your time to, we already are, but to really shine and to own that and to own that. And I think it's beautiful how humble you are. But yeah, you are. I'm really, really thankful to have connected with you, and thank you for sharing so much.
yeah,
And
thank you. Yeah, just yeah,
I wish you
thank you.
so much
Sure, yeah,
abundance of blessings in your life and all that you're creating. And I'm really happy that we're connected.
thank you so much. So am I. So am I. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's amazing. Thank you.
And for anyone who hasn't subscribed yet, send some love and subscribe to have more weekly input from these incredible voices. Thank you.